What's up guys, I am John. Okay, in the video this time I will tell you the entire storyline of the film released in 2015. In this film tells the story of someone who accidentally put a shark in a lake. As a result many people died and also caused panic throughout the city near the lake. Now the person who put the shark is trying hard to recapture whether he succeeded or not. We just go into the story. This film begins by involving two policemen named Murady and Luis, who are assigned to arrest someone named Clint who became a suspect in the smuggling of several types of endangered animals. When the police began raiding Clint's residence they could only find the client's daughter named Carly. At the same time Clint tried to escape from the house using a car. The two policemen who realized this, the chase immediately took place. In the end there was a chase. Action: the chase between the clinics and the police. In the action of Murady's chase, as the driver decided to crash into Clint's car from behind, which caused the client and his car to enter a lake. Clint, who felt cornered, finally chose to turn herself in. After that Clint too, in the end, he was jailed for 5 years because of the smuggling case. After Clinical was arrested the police brought the child's name Kali to the police station. The little boy named Kali only lives with Clint and her mother has long died, because Kali doesn't have anyone else. A policeman named Luis suggested to leave the time at a child care center, but Murady decided to take care of the child. In short, 5 years passed. Now Kali has grown into a very beautiful child. Murady, who has cared for Kali since childhood, looks very fond of. However, when Murady was working, she realized that today Clint is free from Penjafig, because Clint has a criminal record. Therefore Murady is very afraid if the client does things at times. He then talks to Luis so that the client cannot be close to Kali. Even so, Luis said that Clint has the right to meet his own child on the spot. Otherwise we will be shown an elderly couple who wants to do something around the lake. When a woman wants to take her cell phone, she accidentally hears a scream. Afraid that something will happen to her own husband, she immediately walks over to him, but after arriving at there her husband had died with her hand cut off. The woman immediately contacted the police to investigate the place. In short, Murady and Luis came to the scene to investigate the place. They still thought that the culprit was a ferocious bear, but they were still not sure about. Thus, the deaths of elderly men quickly spread to all Yan cities, causing the residents near there to be more careful. In another story, after leaving the prison, Clint went straight to his house near the lake. When he returned home he was surprised by two men who asked clients to work again. It turns out that they are co-workers who are both working with smuggling. They invite Clint to join back in the action, but Clint refuses it because he has already repented. Because Clint doesn't want to join, they are forced to use violence so that the client wants to join back, but Clint easily conquered the two of them. On the other hand, Murady brought Kali to a place to eat, where Murady met someone named Peter. Peter then explained about the death of the old man, who he thought was not the work of a bear. Murady as well as other colleagues will carry out further investigations in the area. In Cherry, another night, two young couples were seen swimming in the lake, and soon the man was immediately attacked by a mysterious figure from the water. In short, Peter arrived, bringing something to the police station to meet Meredith, where they said that the old man was killed by a bear. But Peter immediately denied this and immediately opened the box which contained the old man's hand. He was sure that this was all the act of a shark, not from a bear. Seeing the evidence shown by Meredith and Peter directly rushed to the lake to disperse all the people in that place. The police immediately took action by closing the lake, until the situation was completely safe. The news then informed the local population to stay away from the lake because there were sharks that could attack at any time. With the evidence that Luis asked Peter, why did sharks fight? He lives in the lake. Peter explained in detail that it is a bull shark, where they have features and uniqueness, so that these sharks can live in fresh water. Meredith believes that someone deliberately put a shark in the lake. In another story is when Clint is taking a bath. She was shocked by someone named Don, who was the former boss of the client during the occupation. There Don explained about the bull shark in the lake. A surprising fact: it turned out that 5 years ago when Clint splashed with his car, it turns out that in his car there is a bull shark. After the shark falls off, which causes the bull shark to roam around the lake, Don gives an option to catch the shark and gives it to Don or his daughter, who will be kidnapped and hurt, because when he loved and cherished his daughter, in the end he was planning to catch the shark back. Don has prepared a ship that Clint can use to sail to find the shark in the lake. After finishing with his business, Don and his men decide to leave there. At the police station, it turns out that Lewis invites someone named Gareth, who is a shark catcher. Every shark which he caught will be documented for a TV show. He plans to intend to catch the bull shark alive. After finishing his business at the police station, Gareth Lang Supergo to the lake to look for the bull shark. He begins to prepare the equipment that will be used to catch it. While documenting, they began to disappear into the lake, while swimming in Gareth Lake, not realizing that there was not just one shark but two sharks that immediately attacked him. This also overwhelmed Gareth, and in the end he died on the spot. Louise, who was also involved in the arrest, it could only see Gareth and his cameraman die of being eaten shark. In another story, Meredith was worried that Clint was messing around at times. She decided to go to Clint's place to check, but when she got there, Meredith did not find Clint's whereabouts. It turned out that Clint was sailing into the middle of the lake, at Clint's house. He only found a photo of a shark and a strange object, which he had never seen at all. He immediately went to the police station, to check what it was. While looking for it, he was very surprised, because it was used specifically to catch a shark. After getting the photo, Meredith went straight to Peter's house to ask for more details about the bull shark. Seeing the bull shark's photo, Peter was very surprised because it turned out that the shark was pregnant, which means there was more than one shark roaming the lake. This is a serious problem for them, because they will find it more difficult to catch the bull shark, which is supposed to be a protected animal. Louise immediately told about the death of Gareth and the cameraman who had died tragically. In another story, showing Collie, who was secretly entering his mother's room, to find his father's home address, namely Clint. At that time he had managed to get his father's home address. He immediately going on a scoop bike. When Meredith's mother was out for a walk with her pet, she accidentally let go of the animal, so that her dog splashed into the lake. Meredith's mother immediately went down to the lake, looking for her pet. When Meredith came home from work, Meredith was escorted by Peter. When he entered the house, Meredith accidentally saw some messy documents, but at the same time Meredith saw his mother, who was in the lake. Afraid that if her mother was attacked by a shark, she decided to go down and take a shotgun. Fortunately, Meredith managed to kill the bull shark in time. After the incident, looks like Meredith is a little shocked, because if Meredith is slow, then her mother will die horribly. At the same time, Meredith's mother screams that Collie disappeared, aka kidnapped by someone. Meredith thinks that Clint is one of the people who kidnapped Collie, because it was himself and Peter who decided to go straight to Clint's house. He also called a few policemen to immediately come to Clint's home address. On the other hand, it turned out that times he had arrived at his father's house, Collie was looking for his father, but had not found him, and in the end he decided to hide on the ship owned by his father. When the police arrived, the policeman told Clint not to move. He then said that he was kidnapped by someone. Clint, who doesn't know anything, thinks that Don is the culprit for kidnapping his daughter, but at the same time suddenly appeared on the ship. Clint immediately pushed the policeman, which caused the policeman to fall into quickly. Clint and Collie fled by boat. It can be seen that Clint is very missing, with his daughter, after 5 years of not seeing him. On the other hand, Meredith and Peter saw that Clint took Collie to run away. Afraid that if he was kidnapped, he immediately used the ship to chase Clint. But in the middle of the lake an unexpected thing happened, where their ship collided with someone else's ship. The collision at the end that made the ship leak. They didn't realize that the shark was starting to approach them. As a result, they were both quickly returned to the boat. Because the ship was leaking, Peter took the initiative to make a sharp weapon from materials that could be found on the ship to fight the bull sharks. When they wanted to swim to land, unexpectedly one of the sharks began to approach them. With great struggle they finally managed to beat one shark, but unexpectedly it turned out that there was another one who started attacking Peter until he became killed on the spot. When at the same time Clint came to save Meredith, At first Meredith thought that the client had kidnapped Kali, but Clint started to explain that he didn't intend to kidnap. His own daughter came to him, but even though Clint had explained it, Meredith still thinking that this was a kidnapping case. During the conversation the bull shark suddenly started attacking their boat. It also made this river into the lake. A worried Clint immediately jumped in to save his daughter. Even though Clint was badly injured in part of the hand as a result of the shark attack, Clint kept trying to protect his daughter from the shark attack. With a pretty hard effort and also the help of Meredith, in the end they managed to kill the shark. After surviving the terrible incident, they started rushing to the mainland. Meredith then borrowed someone's phone to call the police, then apologized to Clint because he misjudged someone. Even though this Clint had a criminal record, it turned out that this client had a very good character. A few minutes later Meredith explained in detail to Louis that the client was the person who had saved Kali's life and also himself. Then Louis took Clint to the police station to ask him a few questions. Meredith promised times that his father would not be jailed again, and the story was over. Okay, maybe it still hasn't been explained in the ending whether there are bull sharks in the lake or not, but if you think I personally, and I have already searched, it turns out that after containing a bull shark it can give birth to as many as 10 to 13 tails, so in that fund there are still bull sharks. Okay, maybe that's all the video this time. If there is an error I'm sorry. Okay, see you next video guys.